Today I'm going to explain my view and ideas for tech in my Sci-fi TTRPG, which by the way I do have a code name for. I think for now I'm gonna call it Xenos. Name is still in progress, but I think this name will do. Anyways, let's talk about the tech. First, I just came up with many ideas for tech. I listed the obvious tech items such as boots for boosters, tiny drones, AR goggles, projected barriers. The more ideas of tech I came up with, some becoming bigger and bigger physical tech for players to carry. For example, for a healing class, I wanted them to have a big beacon, which they can place to heal players around it. I soon realized how much it limits me, since now this beacon is a big part of this healing subclass. If the player has to run, will they have to grab the beacon first? What happens if someone breaks the beacon? Does that take away a huge thing from a subclass? I obviously want players to care about the tech, but will the subclass become useless without it? The obvious solution would be that you at your table agree with your GM to always assume that you picked up the tech and have it after the combat. This simplifies the tedious process and avoids the subclass losing its power. There were more issues I came across when I was making big physical tech about how players will have to explain how they carry this giant piece of tech which is part of their class but isn't used until specific situations. If you wish, I can expand more on this when I make a part 2 of tech video. But for now, let's talk about the solution. I think I have a good solution that flows well with the logic of the world and keeps players immersed into the sci-fi world, without needing to believe that their tech is indestructible or never a hindrance. The solution I came up with is currently called DM Tech. So in the large umbrella of tech, which all numbers of tech falls under, there is a category which is called DM Tech. For the sake of the explanation, let's put DM Tech on one side and let's put all the rest of the tech on the other, which we will call for now normal tech. Normal tech is the tech that you always see in the world of Xenos. All the tech you can buy is normal tech. All the tech you can loot, find, or trade is normal tech. Normal tech is the common baseline and the ceiling for tech. Meanwhile, DM tech is where it gets fun. DM tech is not a tech that you can find in loot. It's not tangible in normal circumstances. DM tech stands for dematerializing tech. The idea of this tech is that it materializes when you need it, and dematerializes once it's used or when it's broken. Hence the name DM Tech. The best example of this is the suit of Tony Stark in Avengers Infinity War. His nanotech slowly materializes at his command, and he doesn't have to worry about storing it. That's what DM Tech does. In simple words, DM Tech is similar to spells in DnD. Just like spells can appear when casted and disappear after use, in that same way you have limited DM tech which you can materialize and dematerializes once its duration is over or when it's broken. But it will cost some resource. The main resource of this world, I don't have a name for it yet, but the idea is that your brain power, your brain capacity is what kind of charges, it kind of uses your body as a battery. So currently the name I have for it is neurons or expendable neurons. So for this video, I'm just going to call it energy. Each player has limited amount of energy, so they can't materialize all the DM tech they want. They need to choose wisely what they materialize. To give you an example, this could be similar to spell slots, but much simpler, much different. But that's the vague idea. You use spell slots to cast spells. You use your brain power, your neurons, your energy, and then materializes tech that you need. Here is a DM tech to show you what it looks like. I feel like you guys need to see what a DM tech looks like to get an idea. So here is an example. Let's say your players want to enter a high window in a building, and one of the players say, I have something that can help, and they place a jump pad which is part of their subclass. Jump pad is a placeable item. Anyone who jumps on it is launched in the sky 30 feet. But it takes 2 energy of the player to materialize it. The duration of it is 1 minute, which means after the jump pad is placed, it will dematerialize after the minute. Let's say each player uses the jump pad and gets in. Now the jump pad is left outside the building, but because it's a DM tech and not a normal tech, the jump pad will dematerialize after the minute, and then the player who materialized the jump pad can materialize it again by spending the resource if necessary because the jump pad is part of their subclass. Now the player didn't have to go and grab the jump pad because it was a DM jump pad. If the jump pad was a normal tech that maybe the players would have bought or looted, since remember, every DM tech does have a normal tech counterpart, but every normal tech does not have a DM tech counterpart. So DM tech is meant to be slightly weaker, but something that you can use at will. So in this normal jump pad example, the jump pad wouldn't have dematerialized, and the players would have had to come back and grab it if they needed it, or just leave it out there because it doesn't have the tech to dematerialize. DM tech is something players unlock through higher levels in your class and roles. I am not the best at explaining this, but I assure you this will make combat and roleplay much smoother. I will explain a lot more of this in future videos. DM tech allows me to make fun, strong tech and give that to the players without worrying about players overusing it, because with DM tech I can put a duration on it, I can make it cost energy for what it's worth, and it will materialize or dematerialize no matter what size it is. And something you have to remember, all the rest of the tech, which is the normal tech, is something you will have to go and fix if it's broken. DM tech is really specific and allows players to do something with their class using this nanotech DM tech technology. Anyways, I hope I was able to explain my thoughts well. I will make another video to talk about more tech. Also, I want to make a video on mechs soon and how mechs can work in my sci-fi TTRPG. If any of you are interested in this TTRPG that I'm working on all by myself, I would love for you guys to join me by subscribing, helping me in the comments with ideas and suggestions. I'll see you guys in the future videos. Goodbye.